brought to you by TELUS.
Hi, I'm Mike Agarbo.
And I'm Mary Murtosh, and welcome to AppTV.
There's an old saying, there's an app for everything.
Wait, how old is that saying again?
Well, I guess it can't be that old, but that doesn't mean it isn't true.
True, okay. The number of apps out there is constantly growing, and they range in subject matter from heart monitors to rock climbing.
And even the basics of what we read and how we read it. The number of people who get their daily news or read their favorite magazines online instead of actually buying the physical product is growing.
The ease of access and the fact that this new way of browsing uses less paper are both big reasons for the growing online reading audience.
Most correspondence, whether memos, letters, or meeting requests, are electronic in nature, and that's why we're kicking off this episode about reading with a look at the Mail app.
It comes standard with most devices, and with good reason. This might be one of the most used apps in the world. It allows you to access your email on the go, no matter what account or how many accounts you have.
And as far as attachments are concerned, most smartphones are able to open and display them when you're out and about. And whether they're in a doc or PDF format, keeping up to date and in touch for business or personal reasons is a snap.
So let's head into the first chapter of our reading episode and look at how apps are changing the way we read while we're on the go.
The digital revolution has affected every aspect of life, and the simple act of reading is no exception. Now, when you're headed on a trip and aren't sure which book you want to bring, why not take them all? Let's take a look at 3 apps dedicated to e-reading: Kindle, Kobo, and iBooks. These are the apps that allow you to access the books you want when you want them. There are a lot of similarities between these 3 apps. They're all free, and they all allow you to download and read ebooks to your smartphone, your iPad, or your iTouch. They also make the dictionary accessible at the touch of a finger. If you come across something that you want to look up while you're reading, just tap it and look it up. Both Kobo and iBooks let you sort through your books you're currently reading, or papers and magazines as well. And both are excellent for organizing your stuff. iBooks even allow you to create your own categories to organize your reading material your own way. So if you want Jules Verne and Jackie Collins stored together, so be it. Kobo offers a few additional fun features like Reading Life, which keeps track of your reading activities and presents the info to you in multiple dashboards. Get stats like the total hours of reading, hours on a single book, number of pages turned, and even pages per hour. All 3 of these naturally have a shopping element to them. Kindle is tied to Amazon, and you can really only shop through an internet browser. Kobo is connected to Chapters Indigo. And finally, iBooks is Apple's foray into the literature selling world. iBooks doesn't have every publisher, but it does have a lot of visual pizzazz. Aside from the sales connections, functionality is fairly straight ahead and easy to use across the board for all 3. Turning pages with finger swipes, the ability to scan into the books for particular sections, and even settings for night reading. Of course, doing this kind of reading is a big help to the environment, as you're definitely saving paper, and you can highlight sections without damaging the book itself. So, will paper books go the way of the dodo? Only time will tell, but with the help of apps like these 3, you'll enjoy reading on the go more than ever before. You don't have to worry about lugging around stacks of books when thousands of pages can weigh less than 1 pound. Besides, when was the last time your paper book remembered what page you're on?
This is hot off the presses, and I mean really off the presses. Your hands don't need to be covered in newspaper print anymore to keep up to date on what's happening around the world. These are our Hot 5 newspaper apps. Our top story is the Globe and Mail app, which lets you access Canada's newspaper everywhere you go. You can bookmark articles so you can pick up where you left off later, or just to read again. iPod Touch users also have the option of reading offline. Don't wait for depressing news, access it immediately. Read all about it. The New York Times app for all platforms. Aside from all the regular features of the paper, there are blogs, slideshows, and video content accessible as well. A very cool feature of the app is that it will actually alert you when breaking news occurs. Next is Broadfeed, which gives you access to news from all different kinds of sources that you follow on your Twitter account, both individuals and news organizations. Non-Twitter users have the option of reading news articles from the app's built-in directory. This is an excellent way to get multiple angles on the same story. If the news doesn't have enough of a visual element for you, you might want to try the Naked News app. Beautiful women deliver all the news and headlines. And finally, on the lighter side of things, we have crazy headlines. If you love that Jay Leno bit, or are just astounded when something like military head seeks arms slips through the editorial process, then this is an app that can help put a slightly different spin on the day's events.
The web has totally revolutionized the way we take in information. Now, Flipboard revolutionizes the revolutionary by taking the new and putting an old school spin on it. Flipboard is free for the iPad, and essentially what it does is take the way we read our news, browse the web, and use our social media like Facebook and Twitter and present it to us in an easy-to-access magazine-style layout. Flipboard has partnerships with major publishers like ABC News, All Things Digital, Bon Appetit, Lonely Planet, and The Washington Post, just to name a few. So how does it actually work? Flipboard creates flippable content pages on your iPad. It integrates links, images, and text to create a virtual magazine in a literal way. Check this out. Flip the home screen with a finger swipe and you'll arrive at the contents page. This is where you'll find the boxes that let you add content. Just tap a blank box and scroll through the list of categories like history, pop culture, current events, or even sports. You can select a cluster of related topics or an individual feed. Now the app automatically grabs the RSS, making it easier and faster to get the information you want. Tap on a teaser and tap View Original Article and you'll have an instant website view. By integrating your Google Reader, Flickr, Facebook, and Twitter feeds, you're basically assembling the updates, articles, and content you want into a more eye-catching and familiar reading layout. And just a little FYI, it can take a long time to load, and on Twitter, you can only see who you're following, not the replies and retweets of other feeds who are following you. And since you're automating through this assembly process, sometimes you may miss an article or link if it slips through the cracks, as Flipboard doesn't let you see absolutely everything. But all that considered, this app is a great streamlining process for your social media and news updates. Flipboard is constantly updating and adding feeds, and you have the total flexibility to add and remove these feeds as you wish. And no, you don't need to know acronyms like RSS to get a great experience from this app, as there's more than enough fantastic content already there for you to add. If you have an iPad and you want a great app not only for yourself, but to show off the coolness of e-reading and pretty apps in general, you won't go wrong flipping over Flipboard.
Coming up after the break, we have a look at the world of online kids' books and the apps that accompany them.
And for the big and little kids alike, we'll take a look at what the world of comic book apps has going on under the mask. All that and a whole lot more when AppTV continues. We're back in a moment.
Apps aren't just the one-way access to a virtual library of stuff to dig through. Sometimes you want an app to get you straight to a book or a type of book. For that, we have this Hot 5 author apps to read to you. From Heaven and Earth to Middle Earth, it's the J.R.R. Tolkien app. What exactly is a ring wraith? Where exactly is the Shire? Answers to all of this and more are at your fingertips with the J.R.R. Tolkien app. Whether you're a devotee of the books or just a fan of the films, the app has all of the info on World of Middle Earth and then some. One app to rule them all. I'm happy to say, and I'm glad to report, there's finally an app like one of this sort. One of the best-selling children's books is now digital, the Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat app. You or your child can read by yourselves, to each other, or even read along with the audio narration. Touch a picture and the words zoom up on the display. The Good Book has become the Good app. With Bible Plus, you can have your Bible with you wherever you go. Split screen reading allows you to compare Bible translations or Bible reference books side by side, highlight text, and bookmark your favorite verses for further study. For the creatives among us, we have Touch Poet. Use words downloaded from dig.com, news sources from the app, Shakespeare's sonnets, or other famous poets to create poems. If you can't find the word you're looking for, enter your own. Mix and match to create lasting poetic dreams, and even publish your masterpiece to Twitter to share with the masses. And finally, we come to the most violent app of this Hot 5, Writer's Block Assassin. This app offers scenarios, names and personas, plot ideas, and even dialogue suggestions to help you keep cranking out your magnum opus. Look out, Writer's Block, there's a bounty on you. Hey, that's a great idea for a story.
When it comes to technology, for many adults it can be overwhelming, especially when you look at the sheer abundance of apps. There's literally hundreds of thousands of them. But when it comes to kids, you put a 5-year-old in front of an iPad or a 3-year-old with a smartphone, some amazing things can happen. This is where it gets exciting. There's an incredible amount of educational apps out there, teaching kids everything from the colors to counting, even learning how to read. We're going to start our look today at the Super Y app. If you're a parent, you'll probably recognize these guys from the popular PBS television series.
My super stickers!
Using an interactive, almost game-like approach, Super Y uses audio and visual elements to engage children. Each of the 4 characters offers their own unique educational game for the kids to play that help them spell, rhyme, and complete sentences.
Let's go!
Princess Presto's Wands Up writing game teaches kids their letters and gets them to write letters by tracing them with their fingers.
P.
And Super Y's Story Saver lets kids choose missing words in the sentence to complete the story they're reading.
It's a page from Little Bo Peep.
Next up is the Toy Story Read Along. It's free for the iPad and the iPhone, and you'll probably recognize some familiar faces in this app. Your kids will too.
Okay, everybody, coast is clear.
Andy's family was moving soon, and Woody was trying to keep the toys organized.
The Toy Story app offers reading, recording, music, games, painting, and even a little video here and there. The Read icon gives you the choice of hearing the story narrated to you, including the characters' voices.
Birthday guest at 3 o'clock.
Or you can read aloud and record your own voices so your child can listen to it later. Woody sent out a group of green army men to keep an eye out for new toys. The animated transitions add a bit of movement and action between the pages as you move through the book. But as we mentioned, this app is more than just reading. Choosing the music icon lets you select from songs offered for a sing-along. And the paint feature lets children or adults who are, doing research, yeah, that's right, research, choose between 3 different scenes from the book to color. And if you mess it up, you can always just shake the iPad and start all over again. Each app offers its own level of interactivity and education. The main thing is that they're all fun to use. You'll be amazed at what your child can accomplish with just a swipe or 2 of their finger.